الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد باب استحباب الاضطجاع بعد ركعتي الفجر على جنبه الأيمن والحث عليه سواء كان تهجد بالليل أم لا. This is the chapter of the encouragement or the desirability of lying down on one's right side after the Sunnah of Fajr prayers, equally whether a person has performed the tahajjud, the night prayer, or not. There are three ahadith, I believe 3 or 4 ahadith in fact in this chapter. Sorry, there are 3 hadith. The first hadith is the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha. قالت كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا صلى ركعتي الفجر اضطجع على شقه الأيمن رواه البخاري. Aisha radiallahu anha narrates that النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, when he, after performing the 2 rak'ah of Fajr, the Sunnah rak'ahs, then he would lie down on his right side. And this lying down is considered to be mustahab. It's something encouraging and rewarding. And it's also a means of sort of like distinguishing and making a break between the 2 rak'ah Sunnah Fajr and the 2 rak'ah actual Farad. And another point is that it's mentioned about how the Prophet ﷺ would lie on his right side, لِشَرَفِهَا, because the right has more nobility over the left. وعنها, and Aisha radiallahu anha also narrates, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي فيما بين أن يفرغ من صلاة العشاء إلى الفجر 11 ركعة, that النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم would perform during the night after Salatul Isha, sometime after Salatul Isha until the time of Fajr, and the more virtuous time would be the last portion of the night. Rasulullah would make 11 rak'ah. يُسَلِّمُ بَيْنَ كُلَّ رَكْعَتَيْن. The Prophet would make salah in 2 rak'ahs in pairs. وَيُوتِرْ بِوَاحِدٍ, and then finally would make witr with 1 rak'ah. فَإِذَا سَكَتَ الْمُؤَذِّنُ مِنْ صَلَاةِ الْفَجْرِ, and when the first adhan of Fajr would be, the mu'adhin would have called out. In the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there would be 2 mu'adhins. The first adhan would be sometime before the actual Fajr, which would indicate or be a reminder for those who would want to wake up for Salatul Tahajjud, or would intend to fast and they would want to make suhoor, or just prepare for the Fajr altogether. Then this would be what it's referring to. فَإِذَا سَكَتَ, when the mu'adhin had become quiet, and in other words had called out the Salat al-Fajr. وَتَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْفَجْرُ وَجَاءَهُ الْمُؤَذِّن, and finally when the actual time had come and the mu'adhin had made the Fajr adhan, قَامَ فَرَكَعَ رَكَعَتَيْن خَفِيفَتَيْن, then the Prophet ﷺ would stand up and would perform the 2 rak'ah Sunnah of Fajr. ثم اضطجع على شقه الأيمن, and then he sallallahu alaihi wasallam would lie down on his right side. هكذا حتى يأتيه المؤذن للإقامة, until and he would lie in this state until the mu'adhin would come and inform him that the iqama would be called. And the final hadith for today is the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, who says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إذا صلى أحدكم ركعتي الفجر فليضطجع على يمينه رواه أبو داود والترمذي بأسانيد صحيحة. قال الترمذي حديث حسن صحيح. إذا صلى أحدكم, when one of you performs their salah of the 2 rak'ah Sunnah of Fajr, then let that person lie down on his right side. And this is a narration found in Abu Dawood and Tirmidhi. So from this hadith, from this chapter, we learn the encouragement of lying down on one's right side after the 2 rak'ahs of Fajr. Al-Imam Ibn Hajar, Al-Hafidh Ibn Hajar rahimahullah ta'ala, in his Fath al-Bari says, وَذَهَبَ بَعْضُ السَّلَفِ إِلَى اسْتِحْبَابِ فِي الْبَيْتِ دُونَ الْمَسْجِدِ. And some of the Salaf, the earlier scholars, they encouraged this lying down after the 2 rak'ahs of Fajr and before the Farad of Fajr when it's in one's home and not in the masjid. إذ لم ينقل أنه صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه فعل في المسجد, because there's no report that the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم had done it in the masjid. وسئل عنه الإمام أحمد فقال ما أفعله وإن فعله رجل فحسن. Imam Ahmad was asked in regards to this. It seems like in regards to perhaps doing it in lying down in the masjid, he says that I wouldn't do it, but if a person does it, فحسن, then this is good. Imam Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala mentions al-mukhtar al-ittija' لظاهر حديث أبي هريرة وما روي عنه صلى الله عليه وسلم ترك الاتجاه في بعض الأوقات فهو بيان الجواز. That the chosen and the chosen opinion and position is that lying down after the 2 rak'ahs of Fajr and before the Iqamah of Fajr is something which is a chosen position, something that should be done. It's encouraged. And that which has been narrated that the Messenger of Allah ﷺ did not lie down at certain times, then that's an indication that it's permissible if a person was to leave that act of lying down between the 2 rak'ahs of Sunnah of Fajr and the actual Fard Salah. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to implement the Sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ, to love it, to implement it, and to teach it to others. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah bil alameen.